Yeah, yeah. Who's in the house? Ruckus TV. What am I, 1 minute late? Come on, cut me some slack. Yo, Sloshel3, what's good? Calisthenics and more, what's good? Supreme Brownie. Adrian T. Bass, what up? Hasmup3. Isaac, what's good? Scott. Vicious, what's good? Let's go! Jacob, what's up? Greg, what up? Bass Gamut, I see you. B-boy. Yo, Blackjack's in the house. What's good, Blackjacks? Follow Blackjacks, he's dope. MIDI Monsters, what's good? Good to see you, man. My father's son. And we're live! Lettuce, what's good? Jaws, that's bite? Jaws, that bite? That's a good kid idea. We're giving away 3 $50 gift cards. Drums that knock. Let's go! Steven George, long time, man. Pass me the Dutch. Med Game, Kush, MJ Metz, Jzar. Hey. Shout out J Essential, Spose, Remedy Remix, the Uma, good to see you, man. Salute. Yeah. Hell yeah, Dr. Dre voice. Lee Brave. Sheer intelligence. These MCs metaphors that's made irrelevance to the truth topic. Locking fiber optic, preaching without a profit. Perfected my target. Crow Cooks, what up? Glad you could tune in. You're making your knees crack, ease back. You're about to seize that opportunity. The top where we soon to be. While your motherfucking haters might as well be on the moon to be. I'm on the map and blaze a track. Yo, Uma. Good looks on the donation, Uma. Call the fire safety, hasty. Snack money, appreciate that. Yo, I appreciate the donations. All donations are going towards future gear for Drums That Knock. No need to donate, but if you want to, it's much appreciated. Shout out to Uma. Parts combinable, creating what you got in your ear and what I'm riding to. Shop at the mooless, rock with the truest. Cats in your block, the box. Cody, what's up? Trap Star, what up? Just trying to help you guys out, man. Tips, Ableton, FL, Pro Tools. Saver Boy, Dara JT.
Isaac Gomez, Saver Boy, what's good? Leo Season.
Essential like Jay, mad potential, Mike Slade. Preferential treatment from my speaking Peters by day, by night, like a lance, I'm enhanced.
Yo, who wants to win that gift card? I'm giving away 3 $50 gift cards.
Home shop at Hannaford, self-made, no manager, but money up and down like it's hands on the banister. Calls from unknown numbers, debts unpaid, I'm not a Lannister. Dutch elixir sipper, copper sixer of the canisters. Nobody sicker in my jurisdiction, I'm like royalty. Sick of paying taxes instead of rapping, paying lawyer fees. When I was broke, they gave me nothing.
Camera.
Now I pay, they spoil
Hold up.
me. Funny
I'ma
how
fix
that
it.
works now that the people have anointed me. My hands dirt, logo on my damn shirt. On my dome, all caps, like I hit shift like a standard. I'm the man, word, sentence, paragraph, and chapter. I prayed for peace to kill the show and Carabasset after. I shop at Shaw's, I finish rocking, then the block applauds. Hit the doorbell, kick in the door until you knock it off. Fuck the rest, at best I think the quest is just forgettable. How they kept the dream alive so long, well that's incredible.
Yo, Crip Gas, appreciate that, man. How you liking Drums That Knock?
Your aunt's face, even your mom hates. I could make a strong case that I've been the truest. Rewind the track back and me and Jay could walk you through it, y'all. Shop at the mooless, rock with the truest. Cats in your block, them up.
Yo, bear with me a second.
Shop at the mooless, rock with the truest. Cats in your block, them up.
Fixing the camera.
Shop at the mooless, rock with the truest. Cats in your block, them up. Do this, come on. Shop at the mooless, y'all know.
Yo, Crispy D, appreciate it, man.
The road is kids.
Thank you for the donation, brother.
Can't fuck with the road is kids. Yeah.
Camera's coming back. Bear with me, y'all.
Rain on play. Future knock.
Hey. Hey, we're coming back. 2 seconds, y'all. There we go. Hey, there we go. Yo, I'm gonna show y'all some new shit I've been working on. Y'all wanna hear some new shit? Ableton, yo, I'm gonna be talking about Ableton versus FL today, because a lot of you guys are asking why I use one or the other. Yo, check this new beat. Some new shit. Shout out to Ayo Nick for the sample. New shit. Bully Finger, Jordan, what's good? Hey. Yo, Saver Boy, that's what's up, man. Glad you like the masterclass. DJ Damianito, I gotta play that track now, DJ Damianito. I'm gonna play Brazil. We did that one together at Jazzy Jeff's house. New shit, new beat. Made this last night. FL. Yeah. Yo, here's another new one last night. Shout out to AG for the sample. We're cooking up a bunch of new stuff. Another new one from last night. Hey. This one's a little vibe right here.
Decap.
Yo, is Craze in here? DJ Craze, what's good, brother? Yo, these drums are from Drums That Knock Volume 9. The last one's from Volume 8. Yeah. Let's go. Soft clipper versus distortion and saturation. Ask me that a little later. I'm gonna get into that. Another new one. Shout out to AG again on the sample. This is a collab. Craze. Good to see you, brother. DJ Craze is in the house. The GOAT. Yo, since DJ Damianito's in the house, I gotta play it. Hold up. Yeah. Here it is. I'm playing this one. Yo, so I made this track. I told this story before, but me and DJ Damianito made this at DJ Jazzy Jeff's crib. We had to stay up all night and flip this sample from Brazil, and it's a banger. I love this record.
Decap.
Chat's going crazy, y'all. That's what's up. Oh shit, this is a different version. Crazy. Yeah. So shout out to DJ Damianito. Shout out to DJ Jazzy Jeff. Shout out to DJ Craze. A bunch of goats in the house. Award-winning, beastly DJs. Yo, much love everybody showing up. So if you're just coming in the room, tonight I'm giving away 3 $50 gift cards to drumsatknock.com. So keep it locked. I'm going to ask you guys some questions in the chat. Yo, Crispy D, shout out for the donation, man. Crispy D with the donation, man. Yo, shout out to you guys donating. Like I said before, there's no need to donate, but for those of you who donate, that money is going to go towards new gear, just getting these drums to sound better for you guys, so it's much appreciated. All donations are appreciated, but not necessary. This all is free for you guys to enjoy, but it's much appreciated. All right, y'all, so I'm going to get right into it. Today, we are going to go over the behind the beat for On My Wave, the track that I dropped with Oh Gosh Leotis and Harry. And the reason I'm picking this one is because I made the beat in FL Studio and mixed it in Ableton. So I'm going to show the whole process of that track. Yeah, so let's get into it. So first I'm going to play the track. This is On My Wave. Oh gosh.
You wonder why you work a 9 to 5. Cause you tryna ride on my wave. Drip is on 10. Swag so immaculate. Your shit is fit. At the end of my tolerance, I'ma start hollering. Take your whole audience. Yeah. I'm the black man, Batman, moving silent through the city. Yeah. I ain't playing games, but I
turn that up.
Like a BBS wet, Alaska on my neck, pull up Bear Grill for the set. Pocket on swole, that's why I eat good. Got the whole sauce vinaigrette. I'm on my wave, pull up in that flave. You see that I'm paid. Decap the name. I'm on my wave, pull up in that flave. You see that I'm paid. Remember the name.
Harry, shout out to Harry.
Gon' do now. Nigga, you ain't fair. You can smoke.
This track is out now.
Copping grams in a instant. Little mama at me now. Walk around it, catch a stick. Like your daddy hand me downs.
But really I'm chillin'. To one of you niggas just feel like you bad and this shit hit the ceiling. This is not about you little man, so sit back while I generate millions.
On my wave.
I can do anything that I want and I give a fuck for your opinions. Making my ass the feeling, but just really I'm chillin'.
Chillin'.
But an unlocked game on you niggas quite strange. For you niggas switch lanes on you niggas. The way that I own everything that I am, bet that shit foreign thanks on you niggas. Yo, that's the range. Must be the way the boy fucking up the game.
Must be the future, knock the way the kick bang.
Got me popping at the jokers like I'm Bruce Wayne.
Knock.
The way that I'm on, got your girl in my show and she getting X-rays.
Crispy D.
Cut her some slack. Don't
Shout out to Crispy D for the donation.
Got the connect and I'm getting this check. Got you thinking I'm famous. Young Martin's all on the pavement. Whole squad on that wave shit.
I'm on my wave. Pull up in that flave. You see that I'm paid. Remember the name.
Yeah. So that's On My Wave. I made that track with Harry, H-X-R-Y is how you spell it, and the homie Oh Gosh, Leotis. So we did that track. And so yeah, let's get into the session. So this one, the beat, again, surprise, surprise, the beat is super simple. I made it in FL Studio. And let's see what we did. So for the drums, Magic Kick, I believe that's Drums at Knock Volume 7. Bumbleclot Snare, I don't remember what kit that is. We can look that up. Gritty Hat and Gritty Hat 2. Trap Banger Hat. And then, okay, and let me play the drums first. So your basic, simple pattern. If we look at the drums, let's see what we did. How's the sound quality here, everybody? Great, okay, cool. So yeah, just kept it real basic with the drums, but it's got that bounce to it. It just feels good. I'm trying to figure out how I threw it off the beat. What I did, okay. So in Ableton on the channel, you can adjust your track so it's off the beat. In FL, you can do that per channel, but I use this plugin called Sound Delay, and that's how I threw it off the grid. So I hit it, I believe that's 60 milliseconds off the grid with this free plugin called Sound Delay. On the hi-hat, I have a stereo shaper, an FL plugin, just to give it width, kind of like Ozone Imager. And I got a fast distortion with just a little bit on the dry wet. So not the full amount, just a little bit, just to give it that crunch. So I use the FL fast distortion plugin, stock in FL. On the snare, the only plugin is fast distortion. So none of it. And then with fully. Too much. Just right in the middle. Probably didn't even need it, but it just gave it that extra little bit. And on the kick, I have nothing. So that's the drums. Next is the 808. Which I made in Harmor for this session. I don't make my drums in every session because drum design takes a lot of attention. So like when I'm making drums, a lot of time for like Drums that Knock, I'm spending a lot of time in full days, like making a kick drum, making a snare drum, making a bunch of kicks, making a bunch of snares. When I'm making a beat, normally I won't design the drum in the beat. 808s are easier, so a lot of times I will design the 808s right in the beat. So, I mean, if you look at it, I just have, you know, a long release, so it trails out. So when I hit the key, you know, it just trails out a long way. It's like a short 808, so when you hit it, it just vibes. And for some reason, that magic kick just sounds so good with 808s. So on the 808, of course, the good old Sound Goodizer. And the Sound Goodizer, everyone makes fun of this plugin, but it just sounds good. Hence the name. So it sounds great on 808s for whatever reason. It's got some distortion, compression going on. So I'll show it without it. Just quieter with it, full on. Just sounds great. After that, I have the Wave Shaper. Wave Shaper, when you first load it, looks like this. Magic. Magic. Okay, so I find that those two plugins just sound really good together on 808s. So sometimes I'll use those two. It's some sauce right there. After that, bells. That is an Omnisphere plugin. An Omnisphere preset. And it's just fragile bell tone. And I'm going to take the plugins off. Put a halftime on it. So what I love about halftime, shout out to Cable guys, man. They make great plugins. Halftime is just one of those like utility knife plugins that you just have to have just to have like for, you know, like if you have a higher register melody, it will give you a counter melody. So that's why I have the mix at 73%. If I have it at 100, dial it back. It's a really good way to make a quick counter melody. After that, EQ, cut out all the lows, and yeah, that's about it. All the bass and sub frequencies. And then RC20. A little bit of vinyl crackle. A little bit of wobble. A little bit of distortion. Little reverb. And then sound delay just to throw it off the grid. Just so it goes with the bounce of the drums and everything. All right, and then from there, I just recorded a quick vocal rap.
I'm on my wave, pull up in that flave. You see that I'm paid, remember the name. I'm on my wave, pull up in that flave. You see that I'm paid, remember the name.
So I just freestyled that, or like wrote it real quick. I can't remember exactly how I came up with that. So on the vocal, CLA vocals. I literally have CLA vocals on this. This was unknowingly the perfect track to show. So shout out to CLA vocals, shout out to CLA Woo. So yeah, I have CLA vocals on the vocal track, and that's the only plugin. Yo, that is really funny. Okay, so what I did in CLA vocals, this is a little CLA vocals tutorial. This is a great plugin. Good, simple way to get a good vocal sound. So I cut the bass, added some top, added some spank, added a delay, eighth delay, and did a stereo, like a stereo widening. So this plugin does a lot just with one plugin. And then on the main FL channel, I added a high boost. I almost never record anything in FL, but this track I decided to record my vocals in it. So let's hear it without CLA.
I'm on my wave. Pull up in that flave. You see that I'm
And then with
paid.
CLA.
Remember the name. I'm on my wave. Pull up in that flave.
And then on the ad lib, fast distortion, CLA vocals, and an EQ. So we just got CLA on CLA on CLA on CLA on CLA. Okay. So that's it for the, oh, I'm going to show you guys the 808 too. A lot of you guys ask about 808s. So
I'm on my wave. Pull up in that flave. You see that?
So for that last note, that roll out, that bass roll on this note, that just, I feel like kind of makes the track. It gives it its groove. So how I did that, I added this roll note right here. So without it, not the same at all. And then with that roll note, just it gives the track that extra juice. Checking the chat. Oh yeah, I pitched down my vocal too. Forgot about that. How did I do that? Yeah, just use the time stretching in FL. Let's hear what it sounds like with it pitched up. Hold up.
I'm on my wave.
Yeah, so this is with it normal, just how I wrapped it.
I'm on my wave. Pull up in that flave. You see that I'm paid. Remember the name.
And then just pitch it down.
I'm on my wave.
You could do that easily in Ableton too. Okay, so from here, what I did was I sent the track over to Oh Gosh and Harry. They sent back vocals. Then I brought it into Ableton, did some like post-production and mixing and all that. So you'll hear it immediately was gonna sound cleaner because this is like the final mix version. I did this final mix in Ableton because I did this track before I learned Pro Tools. So this is what it sounds like in here.
I'm on my wave. Pull up in that flave. You see that I'm paid. Remember the name. I'm on my wave. Pull up in that flave. You see that I'm paid. Remember the name.
All right, so immediately with the bell track, I just did a cut at 400 hertz because I find that when you cut that frequency, it makes room for the vocals. Added more RC20. Oh no, just a little bit of digital. Let's hear that. Yeah, it just adds a little bit of, a lot of the edits I do are so minor, it might not come through YouTube, but it just adds a little bit of digital distortion, kind of like an old sampler. Um, 808 track. I added some isotope trash to it. I don't know if I just added maybe a little bit of effect to it. It's so minor, I mean, yeah, just added a little bit of effect to it just to distort it more. Then I added Imager just to give it a little bit of width. If you look, like, it's literally such a small amount. Switch the view, hold up. There we go. Yeah, just a little bit of width, stereo width. Virtual mix rack, I added, oh, this is, shout out to Slate. Slate makes some really dope plugins. I use the plugin Earth on 808s a lot of time just to give it a little more bottom. But again, it's so minor, I don't even know if you'll be able to tell the difference through YouTube. Let's hear it without it. It's a little more bottom on the 808. And then the Surfer EQ. What's cool about the Surfer EQ, it follows the note and it will cut the EQ based on what pitch it's at. So Surfer EQ is a cheat code. On the hi-hat, I added another Slate virtual mix rack. And I added a plugin called Revival. What Revival does is it just adds brightness to, it's really good on snares, on hi-hats, and on vocals. It kind of makes that top end really shine through. Yeah, this is a really good one. The kick drum, I got a transient master. This kick is pretty aggressive. I just cut some of the attack. Added this free plugin called G-Clip, which is pretty dope. It's hard to get it to work in Catalina, but it's pretty good. It's a clipper plugin, just to add a little bit of soft clipping. And then the channel EQ, the Ableton stock one, just to tame some of that high-end stuff. On the snare, I got a glue compressor. What is it doing? Just doing a little bit of soft clipping. Turned up the makeup gain. So let's hear it without the glue. And with it. Just makes it punch through more. Some soft, basic soft clipping. Cut everything below 150, and then I did some multi-band processing. Compression. Just kind of tamed some of those high frequencies, compress some of them, and compress some of the mid-range stuff. So let's hear it without multi-band and with it. See, it's super, super bright. This just dialed it back, got it in the right pocket. So that's just some drum design shaping that I did with that plugin. Vocals. So I have a whole bus for the vocals in Ableton. And on the bus, I use the plugin Soothe, which I talk about a lot, made by this cool company called Oak Sound. What it does is it just tames a lot of the real bright, intense frequencies.
I'm on my wave. Pull up in that flave. You see that I'm
So
paid.
if you look at it, it's just doing minor cuts on the real harsh stuff. Again, another example of me not using too much of one plugin at one time because all the effects are cumulative when you use them.
Really, I'm chillin'. To one of you niggas just feel like you.
Let's look at Harry's vocal. So what I do in Ableton is I have buses for the vocals. So I have a bus that's called vocals, and then another bus, Decap, Oh Gosh, and Harry. So on the buses themselves, I don't have any plugins. It's just more organizational. So Harry sent me, I'm gonna take the plugin off and let's hear what it sounds like.
But really I'm chillin'. To one of you niggas just feel like you bad and this shit hit the ceiling. This is not about you little man, so sit back while I generate millions. I can do anything
so the plugin chain, it just opened it up, compressed it a bit, and just kind of made it fit with the blend of the track. So what I did on his vocal, I did a cut. I cut everything below 178, put Soothe on it to cut some of the harsh stuff. So
niggas just feel like you bad and this shit hit the ceiling.
Again, you can see like just little cuts. RVox, a vocal compressor from Waves. Saturator.
Niggas just feel like you bad and this shit hit the ceiling.
Just to give it more warmth. Cut some more frequencies after the saturator because it adds more harmonics. Added some multi-band to it.
Niggas just feel like you.
I compressed some of the highs and the mids. OTT. How many of you guys know about OTT? So OTT, it's a stock Ableton preset in the multi-band compression. And I added, if you look at the amount, I added just a little bit of multi-band. Just a little bit of OTT. And it just kind of gives it this brightness. So if I put it on full, watch this.
Niggas just feel like you bad and this shit hit the ceiling. This is not about you little man.
Like it sounds bad when you put it all on a vocal, but just a little bit of it can really, give you some extreme compression. Yeah, and I did similar processing on the other vocals too, on the track. Now let's look at the master chain. So a lot of times, like I'll show tracks and I don't have tons of stuff on the master, but this one I have a lot on the master. So again, Soothe. So let's hear it with no master.
I'ma start hollering, take your whole audience. Yeah, I'm the black man, Batman, moving silent through the city.
And with the master.
I ain't playing games, but I get my brain high like a VVS wet.
So the master's doing a lot on this one, so I'll show you guys what I did. Soothe.
I'ma start hollering, take your whole audience.
Just cutting some of those harsh frequencies. Dangerous Backs EQ. That's a dope plugin from Plugin Alliance. It's basically just an EQ. And what am I doing here? I'm boosting the high frequency by about 1 decibel at 7.1 kilohertz. And that's it with that plugin. So just a little bit of a high boost. I just really like the sound of this plugin. Then I got the Slate Virtual Mix Rack. I have the virtual channel on it, and with some drive just to give it a little more distortion, I guess, like a little bit of saturation. And I'm using the RC Tube board for this. And after that is the Revival plugin, and I'm just adding, I have it on 4 for shimmer. That's the plugin I showed you guys earlier. Really good on snares, really good on hi-hats, also good on the master, good on vocals. It adds just the shimmer to the track. Yo, just checked out the chat. Capson's in the house. What's good, Capson? Good to see you, brother. Who else is in here? Some guy. What's good, man? Good to see you, some guy. Brady Beat said, why don't my drums knock in Logic? Because you don't have drums that knock. That's all you need. Do you think you could do a professional level sounding mix with only Ableton stock plugins? I'm going to tell you guys straight up, I'm showing you guys all these plugins, but the answer to that is yes. Everything I do can be done with stock plugins. It's all about your ear. I just started really getting into a lot of different plugins probably in 2018. I've always been a fan of plugins and things like that, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do everything in Ableton. Now that I have better computers and, more processing power, I do get into, getting into a lot of different plugins because I like plugins and I like what they do and I support plugin manufacturers make cool shit. But I believe you can make a professional sounding mix with just stock plugins, 100%. Okay, let's keep going. Next plugin, Pro Q3. I have it in linear phase mode, and I'm cutting off. I'm rolling off the lows at 24 hertz, just to cut that real low bass frequency. When you cut the real lows and the real highs, you can push the track harder. Okay, then I got a glue compressor. Let's see how much gain reduction we're doing.
I'ma start hollering, take your whole
We got about 3 decibels of gain reduction and then 5 decibels of makeup. So we have the threshold at -14, so the needle's going up to about 3. That's how you know how much gain reduction you have. Then I have the makeup set to 5 decibels, and I have soft clipper on. I have it at a short release time, which means that the gain reduction goes, the gain reduction's hitting 0 faster, so it's compressing faster. And also a pretty short attack, so you are pretty in between attack, just so we're still capturing like the quick transients like kicks and snares. After that, I got Gullfoss on it, and I have it set to 16 recover, 16 tame. Like I said, Gullfoss is like, Sound Theory. Sound Theory makes this plugin, and what they did was they measured like pleasing frequencies to the human ear and based the curve of this plugin around that. So as you're changing the recover and the tame, it's going back to that frequency. Ozone 9. I got the imager, and I brought down the stereo width of the 808 so it keeps it narrow, and I turned up a little bit some of those higher frequency stereo width. So everything over 1K is a little wider with this plugin. The reason why I made the lows narrower and not wider is because low frequencies sound better on a system when the frequencies are narrower. After that, I got a limiter with 6 decibels of gain.
I'ma start hollering, take your whole audience. Yeah. I'm the black man, Batman, moving silent through the city. Yeah.
So if you look at it, it's really just touching the top of the limiter. So it's just getting some of those peaks. After that, I love this plugin. It's good hertz dither. And this is how I get my 32-bit file down to 24-bit. So a lot of people will dither here with FabFilter or whatever limiter they use. I use good dither because I looked at the statistics, and the way that good dither has a better dithering algorithm at 24-bit. So I know that's pretty technical, but when you're working in 32-bit and you want to get down to 24-bit for streaming, good dither is a good plugin. It's like $12. So that's it. That's it for On My Wave, y'all. Let's check out the chat. All right, y'all. I missed a lot of it just because I've been going over this session, so type it in again. Beats by Frank said, what is we're doing 24-bit exporting? So the reason why I export to 24-bit from 32 is because the streaming services, their final format, I believe, at least right now, is in 24-bit. So I will work in 32-bit because it has unlimited headroom or really high headroom, but I will bring it into, I will export and dither to 24-bit for the streaming services so they don't dither it down for me. I trust my dithering process better than the streaming's dithering. So when you're uploading to streaming, make sure you dither down to 24-bit. Should have talked about that in the last video. Ride music, I'd like to see a breakdown of Alchemy sometimes. I'm going to get to that one. Not today probably, but eventually I will get to that one. Finestro was good, man. Good to see you. Good to see you guys in here. Some familiar names. Peter Man PDX asked, do you use UAD VOG for a similar purpose to Slate Air? I've never used VOG. Slate Air gives you top end though, kind of like the Mag EQ. Hey, did you notice that Chase Blanco said, did you notice that the Ableton limiter, saturator, and glue compressor drops your track level by 3 to 6 decibels, looking at master spectrum, when everything's set to 0? No, it actually doesn't. The Ableton glue compressor, when you just put it on the track, if your track is at 0 decibels, it's going to cut it by a half a decibel. But it doesn't cut it by 3 to 6. Unless you're clipping. That's the only way you will. Maybe I just don't understand the question. Okay, Saver Boy in all caps. You had an Ableton Rack tape stop plugin that looked awesome. I did see you type that comment. Let me get back to that. Where was that one? Where's the tape stop plugin? I'm going to try to find it real quick. If I don't find it, I'm going to show you guys what oh, here we go. So this is my preferred tape stop plugin in Ableton. Hold up, let me put it on the screen. It's made by Kilohertz, KHS, and it's just called Tape Stop. This is by far the best and most simple tape stop plugin that I found for Ableton. We have Verify and Pro Tools, but Kilohertz Tape Stop is amazing. So that's the one. Hazu MP3 said, do you always master in Ableton over FL? Actually, now I master in Pro Tools, so I don't master in Ableton or FL. All my final stuff is usually done in Pro Tools now. Paradox Unlimited. Yo, so you're asking for a full breakdown of Spazin? That's actually on my YouTube channel already. That's the one from the Apple store. I was invited to Apple in Union Square in San Francisco, and I was on the big screen, and I broke down the whole Spazin track. So check that out after the video. Drums at Dither. Nocturnal was good, man. Good to see you. Yeah, Capson. Kilohertz is great, man. They have so much good stuff. The ladder filter is a secret sauce. I'm going to have to check that one out. I haven't tried that one yet. Okay, Red Lightning. How do you recommend getting more LUFS or RMS out of your master while saving dynamics? So, like everything else in production or sound design, it's a sweet spot. Like, you don't want to slam your stuff to the point where there's no dynamic range, and you don't want to have so much dynamic range that your track is quiet and arguably kind of weak sounding, and you know, really loud drums and really quiet vocals and stuff. So it's about finding that sweet spot. You want to use a mixture of soft clipping, saturation, maybe a little bit of compression. And you definitely want to, depending on the track, sometimes it's good to you know, do a little bit of soft clipping to decrease dynamic range and to make your track louder. But you have to find that sweet spot. You don't want to clip it so hard and so loud that it's just a squashed, loud, distorted thing. But you also don't want to have so much dynamic range that it lacks that, you know, that kind of louder punch. I think, yo, Zelda dude, I actually think I have a breakdown of See You Out There already on YouTube. If I don't, I'll do that one. But I think I did that one. I could be wrong. Good question. If my team's around, can you pull up, see if I did See You Out There? I can't remember that one. if I did that one. Oh, Rico Black asked, do I use Heat and Pro Tools? Actually, I just recently started using that. Heat is actually dope. I like that. I like what it adds to the sound. Just a little bit of saturation, compression, almost like a console. I like that. Why would you use a limiter instead of the T-Rack soft clipper for mastering? So I use clippers and I use limiters. They serve different purposes. A clipper, what it's doing, or how I use it, is I use it so it takes the peaks. A lot of times the kick and the snare, it'll chop off the peaks and give it a more harsh, distorted sound when it's a hard clip. When it's a soft clip, you're turning up the soft clip to round out those transients, so it has more of a warm analog console style punch. A limiter, how do I describe it? I don't know if I have like the scientific production terms of it, but a limiter, what it's doing is it's squashing your track. So it's bringing up some of the quieter elements and turning down some of the louder elements. That's kind of like a compressor too. I don't know how to describe the difference, but a limiter, I would explain it as you're squashing the sound. A clipper is you're hard cutting anything that goes above 0 decibels or above your threshold. Rich said, I heard Frank Ocean didn't use any compression on Blonde. It was an aesthetic thing. Honestly, a lot of tracks, I don't use compression either. And if I do, it's just a little bit. A lot of times on the master, I'll just have a little bit of compression just to just make the level a little more consistent. Chase Blanco asked, any steps you always take at the very end of your mix and master, like the last 5% that will make your track sound good across everything, minor tweaks, etc.? Yeah, I always have some kind of limiting or clipping, and a lot of times I have some kind of EQ. But I try to make it every track different because every track has different needs. So not every track is the same. I don't treat every track the same. Okay, Eric said there's no See You Out There breakdown, but would be dope for one for the future. Okay, we'll get to that in one of these streams. Probably not today, because we have a giveaway. But we'll definitely get to that one. Remind me on the next stream. Have you done a tour of your studio before? I don't think I have, but my studio changes up so much that that I should probably do a new one, but not today because the camera isn't really set up for that. Are we good? Are we laggy? How is the video and audio quality? Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Favorite hardware synth? I don't know. I probably haven't tried enough to really pick a favorite. I have a couple that I like. The ones I have are, I have the ARP Odyssey. I have the Sub 37. I have the Korg Mini Log. I have the Behringer Model D. I have the Novation Peak, OP1. And I have some put away right now. Okay, cool. Looking good. Okay. The favorite of the ones that I have, I would probably say the Novation Peak. But there's some others that I want to try too. So Nocturnal asks, is it better to mix in mono than in stereo? I've heard a lot of engineers say that. I've never actually tried it. I don't really have an interest in trying it. But I have heard people having good results with it, but it's not really for me. You don't use span for analyzing the track? No. I've seen a lot of people have good results with that, but I have not. Beats by Frank said, how do you get your 808s? Oh, I just thought of something. Someone tweeted me today and asked me to go over something, and I think you guys will like it. So after this, I'm going to go over that. How do you get your 808s to sound good on headphones? I'm going to get to that, actually, with this next thing I'm going to show you guys. I think we're going to design an 808 from scratch. What do you guys think of that? Any workflow tips for Ableton? I feel like mine is slow. I just want to know how to be more efficient. That's kind of a big question. I'm going to get to that another time. Uma, sorry to ask, but may we please add a spirals and or reboot breakdown to a future stream? I do remember you asking that, and I promise we'll get to it. Maybe not today, but we will get to that. I'm going to remember that. Was I frustrated when I first started mixing? No, not really, because when I first started, Rico Black asked that. When I first started, I guess the standard wasn't that high. I just wanted to make it sound somewhat good. So like, oh, I just kicked the camera stand, crazy. I wanted to make it sound somewhat good. I wasn't concerned with making it sound super crisp because we were in high school and, you know, we were, you know, in my parents' basement, just recording on my mic that I had in the Cool Edit, and I would throw like, it was called Dynamics Processor on it. And it was like a compressor, and I just cut some of the low end and called it a day. Because, you know, I kind of knew what I wanted. I knew what records I listened to sounded like, and I knew what general target I was trying to hit. So I wasn't concerned with like pinpoint accuracy. That came over time, but it never stressed me out. I always just made the best of what I knew and kept trying to learn. And I'm still in that place. Like, I'm still learning all the time. I bet you guys could teach me a lot. Like, there's a lot I have to learn about mixing, and I'm always willing to learn. That's why I'm always on YouTube and always trying to learn new techniques and new ways of doing things. I am Need. I got to admit, I was using Peter Quistgaard for Cool Edit. Shout out to Peter Quistgaard, for those in the know. Peter Quistgaard, let's give Peter Quistgaard a round of applause, y'all. Clap it up.
Decap.
Shout out to Peter Q. Please collab with Flume. Yo, that would be a good collab. Yo, if anyone, actually, you know what? Flume follows me. I need to hit him up. That would be a great collab. Yo, Flume, if you're listening, let's do some shit. Yeah, I'm a fan of Flume, man. He's dope. All's Well, we actually started collabing on some stuff. He sent me a session. I got to get back into that session. He actually lives near me. And we haven't met in person yet, but I'm a fan of All's Well. He's dope. Yeah, Decap and Flume, Decap and All's Well, both of them are dope. I like both those dudes. How do I come up with my drum patterns? All right, we're going to get into a lot of this stuff. I have it all written down, and plus I go through the comments after with my team, and we make notes of like different things we should go through. So I don't know some of these people you guys are mentioning, but I'll do my research. All right, y'all, so we're going to make an 808. In Ableton. What the fuck is that? Oh, that's this. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. All right. So, how I might start an 808 is just loading up Operator in Ableton. So you start with a sine wave, that's just bass, right? And I don't know how I'm gonna make this. Sometimes, I'll give you guys a disclaimer. A lot of times when I go to make drums, sometimes I'll knock it out the park and it'll be crazy. Other times it'll just be whack. So I'm not guaranteeing this is gonna be a good 808, because I make thousands and thousands of sounds to come up with these kits. So the first thing I'm gonna do with the operator, wait, oh, hold up. We gotta put it on the screen. All right, so I just loaded up an operator. First, we're gonna shape it. So we're turning down the sustain all the way, and we're messing with the decay. And now, I'm gonna increase the release just to get our shape. So right now we just have the base shape. So that's like the basic shape of it. Then you notice 808s have more of a punch at the beginning. So I'm gonna turn on this pitch envelope. And I'm gonna turn it up. And here you can adjust the peak. So you wanna hit that sweet spot. So keep adjusting the pitch envelope because you wanna get that initial transient. All right. And from there, there's a couple of things you could do. You can, operator is cool because you can adjust it with the time knob, which is like, I don't know how to explain it, like a dry wet for all the effects. So as you turn this up, it's making the pitch envelope more extreme, making the release more extreme, the sustain, everything. So play around with it. Make it tighter or more loose. I'm gonna keep it like that. So let's see, what are we gonna add to it? Let's throw isotope trash on it. So isotope trash is great because they have a lot of different distortion algorithms. So you can get some real good sounds out of it. Even that, I like that, elastic trash plugin. And then you can adjust the wave shape. If you look in the background, that's showing you the shape of the waveform. So as I turn that up, you can see it's round, so it's a soft clipping distortion algorithm. So as you turn it way up, it's more like hard clipping, but it's still soft clipping because those transients are rounded. So without it, with it. So now we have like, we have kind of an 808. You can even add a second stage of distortion to it. That's kind of cool. So I'm just gonna turn down the mix knob so there's only a little bit of that stage 2 on it. That's cool, I like that. Then I'm gonna add a saturator on top of it. Why not? Add an EQ. I'm gonna throw a limiter at the end just to, so it doesn't clip. Let's throw, let's throw a UAD TS overdrive. I wanna see what this sounds like. Try something. I'm gonna do parallel processing on this. So we're gonna just affect the high end. Let me see if I do this right. You guys following this so far? So what I did right there, I added an audio effect rack, and I have, I did it backwards, hold up. Bear with me. Okay, so what I did, I'm doing parallel processing. So the high frequencies are on its own chain, and I have UAD TS overdrive on just the high frequencies. Low frequencies, there's nothing on it, but that's just how you define the parallel processing. So high frequencies are affected by this. Low frequencies, there's nothing. All right, so. This is something I love about Ableton. You can do parallel processing on different frequency bands. So after this, I'm gonna add an imager from Isotope on the high frequencies only. Guys, this is some like serious secret sauce. Be responsible with this. Be responsible with this, please. Okay, so what's cool about this chain is you can mute, I'm gonna mute the low frequencies. So we're just affecting the high frequencies right now. And I'm gonna add stereo width to the high frequency. There is really no high frequencies in this sound, so. And now with the lows. And now I can adjust the volume of the lows and highs separately. Okay, cool, you guys are getting it. And then, I mean, that sounds good to my ears. I like that. And then from there, what I'll normally do is send it out and, run it through some hardware. Depends on the track. Let me think, what does this need? It really depends on the track. I might maybe cut a little bit of, it's about finding that balance, finding that sweet spot. Then maybe like, Isotope Exciter. This is a great one. And then you can always go back and tweak the sound. So okay, and so now we have a pretty dope 808. That's pretty hard. Okay. So someone asked how to make the kick and 808 blend together. One thing you can do, you can duplicate it, and instead of having this be an 808, you could just turn this into a kick. So we have our 808 here. So we're gonna call this 808, and we're gonna call this kick. And we'll delete these just to make it clear. Make it a different color. All right. So a kick shape is different. So I'm gonna kill some of this processing. All right, kick is much shorter. So the decay was longer for the 808, so we're gonna turn down the decay. We're gonna set the initial all the way up, and we're gonna increase the attack, because a kick, if you look at it, it's loud. It just has a, I don't even know how to explain it. It has a punch to it. So as I turn down the decay, we're making a kick. Play with the pitch envelope. Play with the pitch in general. Time. I mean, that could be another way to do it. So you have your kick, adjust the time. There you go. We did it. Cole Lumpkin, what's good, man? Cole Lumpkin in the house. We, if you haven't checked it out, we dropped a track, Lowest Moment, that's out now. We just dropped it. Been out for a couple weeks. Yeah, so we just made a kick. And maybe could add more saturation. Tighten it up. So there you go. So now we want to know how to match a kick in 808. Oh shit. I'm gonna fix the release on that. All right. So basically we made the 808 in Operator, and we made the kick with basically the same settings in Operator. So naturally, you're not gonna have to like work to balance those sounds. So when I'm doing drums that knock, that's why all the frequencies are so cohesive, because I'm making a lot of them in Operator or in a different synth. Like it kind of keeps it together sounding. So now when we mix this kick and this 808, they're gonna sound good together. Hear that? That sounds real good. That sounds fire. So now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys, because I mean, look, for every track that's cool. Now you know how to do that, but you're not gonna be making kicks and 808s on every track. Because look, when I produce, I just wanna take a kick, take an 808 and run. I'm ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just dive into Drums That Knock 9, and I'm gonna show you how to blend a kick and 808 from the kit. All right, so I'm gonna take Magic Warm Bassy Kick from Drums That Knock 9. Let's look at it. So if we look at this waveform, you can see it's soft clipped, because if you look at the waveform, like it's rounded. And this waveform is less rounded. Yo, Cook Billions, shout out to the donation. Cook Billions, shout out to you, man. When you do choose to use Ableton over FL and Y, I'm starting to like Live, but I love FL's piano roll. We're gonna go over that too. I'm gonna actually talk to you about that. So, like I was saying, this is soft clipped, but it kind of looks like it's hard clipped because it's almost hard clipped. Hard clipped, it would be a straight line and sharp corners. So let's blend it with an 808. So let's take this 808 and we're gonna layer it. I mean, it already sounds good. Drums That Knock, when you load up sounds from the kits, they're just gonna sound good together. So there's not a ton of processing you need to do. One thing you could do is just look at how, there's a couple methods you could do. One thing you could do is you can literally fade in that 808. So when the kick hits, check this out. That is so clean. When the kick hits, the 808's literally not making sound. That's probably the cleanest way to do it. Some people sidechain. I like doing it by hand because you can really dial in that sound. And you can adjust your kick and your 808 just to hit that sweet spot. Fire. From there, if you group that, you can add like a glue compressor or any compressor and just a little bit of compression. It'll just glue it together. It will just kind of blend it together in a pleasing way. Yo, Ill Mind in the house.
Decap.
Shout out to all the legends here tonight. Ill Mind's in the house. DJ Craze is in the house. Shout out to Cole Lumpkin in the house. Some guy you don't know in the house. All kinds of dope people, legends. Shout out to the Uma being in every session. Crispy D, Cook Billions for the donation. Appreciate you guys, man. This is a lot of fun. Yo, thank you, Ill Mind. Ill Mind says, I love your channel. I appreciate it, man. This is a lot of fun, man. Ill Mind is amazing in the producer community. Like, just always dropping gems. He made a tweet or a post, or I think I saw someone retweet it yesterday. What was it? Just about like giving credit to artists. Like, he said, I forget how he worded it. If you're the type of person, or something about you being the type of person that doesn't give credit in this game. You got to give credit in this game. I try to, anytime I do a track with someone, I try to always shout them out. Although sometimes we forget, I feel like it's such an important thing to do because all we have is our credit. So shout out to Ill Mind for, just educating the producer community. Someone like Ill Mind's been in the game for a long time. We came up in the very early days. I appreciate Ill Mind taking the responsibility just to educate producers on how to operate, because there's a lot of fuck shit going on. It's really dope to see someone like Ill Mind doing that and actually being able to, talk to the audience and let people know how, the best way to operate. It's amazing, man. There's a lot of dope producers who are really helping out the new guys nowadays. I love seeing that. Listen to Timbaland say it right beat, how to make a kick sound good in stereo. Yo, actually, let me show you guys that. All right, so we got the kick that we loaded from Drums and Knock Volume 9. I remember the first person I heard make a kick sound good in stereo was Danger and Timbaland. Danger used to do this thing where he would have his hi-hat sounding super wide, his percussion sounding super wide. And I always wanted to know how to do that. And I found out it's called the Haas effect. And Ozone Imager is a great way to accomplish this. I show this plugin all the time. So what you want to do is define the frequencies. So like everything below 140 to 600 and say to 3.5. And then when you adjust these bands, it's going to make that frequency band wider. So if we do right here, it's from 142 to 638. Oh, and you have to turn on Stereoize. I'm going to turn down this so it doesn't distort. So that's after, check before. Before, after. So that's how you make a kick stereo. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about, and this is something you guys have been asking me over the last week over the beef with Monty Booker. Monty Booker's a homie, by the way, but it's fun for us to troll and get into it. So there's no real beef, but we just joke. So a lot of you have asked me, because you've been peeping the Instagram stories where I've been making beats in FL. So I want to show you guys why I like FL. So what I love about FL is it is just a get up and go DAW. Like, it is a DAW that I can literally just load up some drum sounds, start making a beat. In Ableton, I find that there's a little more thought that goes into it sometimes. FL is just you get up and go. So if I want to make a beat, go to Drums and Knock Volume 9. Let's get a kick. Boom. I like that. Right click, open new channel. It's there. All right, let's get a snare. Boom, like it. Open a new channel. Let's get a hi-hat. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right, so we got some hi-hats. Let's make a hi-hat pattern. Boom, done. I like that. All right, kick. Boom. See, I'm already in the zone. Like, I didn't even have to think it through. I'm just playing around, whatever, just click. Whoop. Some of that's a little too much, but nope. See, I already got lost in the zone. So basically, you're coming up with loops, and it's fast. And so, like, now I want to make this kick quieter. I could just go here and quickly like duck it down. I want to make it sound a little bit different. So go to Mod X. It's a fast workflow. So a lot of times FL, what I like about it is you're coming up with loops, coming up with ideas. Let's add a synth. Boom, you're already into it. Ableton, I'm going in here to like do a lot of sound design. I mean, here's the thing. Once you get past that initial loop phase, Ableton is way better. Way, way, way better, in my opinion, for my workflow. What I love about Ableton, I'll show you guys something I absolutely love about Ableton. So, excuse me. I'm gonna load up a drum loop. All right, so we got this drum loop. As soon as I load it in, it's locked to the tempo immediately. I don't have to go through menus. I don't have to do shit. It's already in there. And it's locked in at my DAW's tempo. As I turn down the tempo, boom. So now, let's get a synth track. I love doing melodic stuff in Ableton. Let's see what we got. So, okay, so say I'm just vibing. Wait, let's move that. Say I'm just vibing out in Ableton, just coming up with a melody, and I just hit play. I'm not going to record this. I didn't record that, but if I hit Command-Shift-C, boom, it's back. It's there. I just had to hit a shortcut. So you can just quickly come up with ideas. Like, I'm not particularly crazy about that pattern, but in Ableton, I could turn that into something. So now it's audio. And let's just do some crazy shit to it. Ableton is like the DAW for doing crazy shit to sound. Let's glue compress the shit out of it. Let's throw that guitar pedal on it, or some kind of guitar pedal. I don't know. I don't even know what this is. All right, let's throw a kickstart on it. It's just very fast. It's all in one screen. FL, you have to dive through a million screens. Ableton's just so fast. Command-Shift-C is that capture feature. Let's throw reverb on it. I don't know. Let's throw a halftime on it. All right. And let's pitch it up. Pitch it up 12 here. Let's throw another kickstart on it. Let's take out that one. Let's throw some tape on it. Let's cut the lows. Sketch Cassette is a fucking amazing plugin, by the way. Let's throw some RC20 on it. Just do whatever. See, that's what Ableton's good for. It's just fast. FL, I just don't find it to be as fast. Let's throw Alter Boy on it. Actually, no. Let's. All right, and so this is another thing in Ableton. Like, you can quickly join those clips. You have fades. FL has no fades. Now I can go into that audio, right? And it's in Beats Warp mode. If I do this and turn this down, this might not be a good example of that. Oh wait, I know why. Because we have to flatten this. Yeah, Kickstart's a great plugin. That's just a quick side chainer. All right, so you can get like into like sound design shit. Yeah, anyway, so now I can reverse that real quick. Whoop. Stuff you would never think to do. And now if I make a new MIDI track, I could just start chopping that sample up. Drag it in there. slice it. See what you got. Like, so like we started with that little piano line and now we have like a chopped sample. So, I mean, you could just spend hours just having fun sound designing. Now, so just to go back to Ableton versus FL, FL is great just for very straightforward production, MIDI programming. Sometimes you just want to make a beat. Other times you want to experiment, have fun, and I feel like that's where Ableton really shines. All right, y'all. Game render, Decap in the house.
Decap.
What's good? Ableton is all about effects. It's true. Ableton is great for that. Yo, who wants to win a $50 gift card for Drums at Knock? Say knock in the chat if you're ready.
Decap.
Yeah. Crip gas, white gloves. Everyone wants it. Yo, we have 192 people viewing right now. I can see from Restream. That's crazy. This is definitely the most people yet. So I'm looking forward for this to grow. Spread the word, guys. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's get into it. We're going to do the Drums at Knock $50 gift card giveaway to 3 lucky people. Knockety knock. All right. So I have access to the chat right here from YouTube, from Twitch, Facebook, and Periscope, the 4 places I'm streaming. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask 3 questions, and each time I want you guys to type in the chat as soon as you know the answer, and the first person to have the right answer wins a $50 gift card to drumsthatknock.com.
Decap.
Let's go. All right, y'all. So let's get into this. I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions, and each person to get it right is going to win a $50 gift card. To claim your gift card, you must text me. And I will send you the gift card via text. Okay. First question. Okay, so you have to answer the question correctly in order to win a $50 gift card to drumsthatknock.com. First question. What year did I first drop Drums at Knock Volume 1? First person to answer that I can see in the chat. What year did I first drop Drums at Knock Volume 1? First person to get it correct. Okay, Delio Music is right. 2016. Delio Music. Delio Music. Send me a text. Let me know. And I will get you your $50 gift card. Delio Music is correct. Everyone give a shout out to Delio Music. He won the first $50 gift card. There's still 2 more. I'm doing 3 $50 gift cards. Okay. Second question. Second question. First person to answer it. Second question, y'all. Y'all ready? Second question. What city do I live in? First person to answer it right. Boom, Jam Alley 18 got it. Jam Alley 18, text me to win your $50 gift card to drumsandknock.com. Turn up. Shout out to you. Yeah. A lot of you guys know it, but he was the first to answer. Third question. This one's a little more in depth, so you're gonna have to really type it through. It's a 2-part question, and type it all in one box, not in multiple responses, just in one box. Part A. What 3 DAWs do I use, and why do I use each one? They can be short answers, but what 3 DAWs do I use, and for what purposes do I use each one? It's a 2-part question. If you just have part A, that's not it. Boom. Ride in Music got it. Ride in Music. Shout out to Ride in Music. He won the $50 gift card to drumsandknock.com. Woo! Yeah. Ride in Music. Shout out to you. Ride in Music. Text me to win, to redeem your $50 gift card.
Decap.
All right, y'all. Yeah. Ride in Music. Got that one. Yo, thank you guys for coming through and kicking it with me today. This has been a lot of fun. Congrats to y'all. Okay, so the answer is I do beats in FL and Ableton and mixing and mastering in Pro Tools. So Ableton's more like sound design, beats. FL's more like straightforward beats. Pro Tools is more for the mastering. Yeah. Yo, I appreciate you guys, man. This is a lot of fun. Lowest moment. Lou Wave put the link for the YouTube video. Shout out to Cole Lumpkin, man. That was a fun track. We did a breakdown on that track, too, up on my YouTube page. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for now. Join me live tentatively every Monday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and every Thursday night. I'm going live this Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come through, say what up, let's kick it. I hope this was fun. I had a lot of fun with you guys. Okay, cool, Ride in Music. I'm going to send that to you tonight. Yo, the Uma, shout out to the Uma for the donation, man. Knock! So I'm like I said, no pressure to donate. I'm doing this just for free for the community. But if you guys donate, it's going towards making the drums fatter, making the drums knock harder. Yo, Crispy D, shout out to the donation, man. Thank you, brother. This is just to improve the setup, improve the sounds, just take everything to the next level. So it's just gonna step up the gear in every way. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. I don't even want to leave you guys. I'm having too much fun. But I must go. I must eat dinner. And I will see you guys in 3 days. I'll see you guys Thursday in 3 days. That's 3 days, yes. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Peace.